All right, so we're going to tackle our first question because this is from John Skidmore, father of the Skidmores, and this is something that we was talking about. He goes, "Do you think the whole practice before the event is getting out of hand? Yes, the track was different, but getting your car set up for the surface was key." I'm going to say to that question the same question that I said to when the Americans say that you can easily hop on a plane. You can also hop on a plane, hop on a car, go through the channel, and go over there and practice as well.
Yeah. I mean, exactly.
That it's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. I get it that restrictions are from work, and some of these guys are working for a living and doing this on the side, but that's that privateer RC life. It's no different from any other sport where you have pros and privateers. So I get what he's saying, but what are you supposed to do? Shut the track down for 6 months prior to the race?
And
Go over there.
they already shut it down for like 2 months
They
before
had it.
the race.
I mean, they had a race there. You could have went to that.
Yeah.
Right? I think it's just an excuse for you. Look, people want to use that as their excuse for their poor performance.
Yeah, and the thing is that, like, what more do you want? That okay, the only thing that I think could be beneficial is to have the Euros, like, consciously have the Euros at different types of tracks.
Or, or yes, that's true. Like
Yeah.
make an effort to put it at different tracks. Build a one-off track, which a lot of people say we know that's not as feasible in
No,
Europe as it is in
and
the
one of
USA.
the one-off tracks will still benefit some people. Like the thing is that this track had 100% new layout.
Not
It's
100%, but
well,
a big
I'm
change.
pretty. It was like 90% new layout.
And the one thing I would say about this track is that it doesn't. They keep it the surface pretty much the same. Because I heard Oscar
Yeah.
Baldo say or Brian Baldo in the walkabout, he says, "Yeah, everybody says this has traction like Redavon, but really Redavon, like we don't have that traction all year round." And I get what the Skidmores are saying here, but to be fair, when they had that IBC, like if the track is open and you could get over there, then you should go. I understand that the Americans say that it's a long and expensive trip from. I get that. I understand that. I totally do. But Skidmores live in England, and they could drive there. Literally, they could catch a ferry there. I understand that they work and they have a job and they don't have time off. I understand that, but complaining about that because guys that can you're competing against people that are doing it as a living, right? If Yeah, I get that, but you can't complain about that. You know that going in, right? It's like, come on, I get it. But what are
Yeah.
you supposed to like? They'd be idiots. Like run off. Obviously, the practice before the event helped them.
Yeah, but I think it's even simpler than that. Like, um, let's say Thornhill. Brandon Rose did really well at Thornhill, but the layout was 100% new. Yes, because he knows the surface
But the surface was
reasonably
new
well.
apparently too. They
Well,
said
the
the surface
surface was
wasn't like
new,
that. But
but he still did well. Okay, and Buggy Buggyland, not Buggyland. What IBC track was different, different layout.
surface the
He
same.
did surface is the same. Um, but like, what more do you want? Like
This is
the
probably one of
only
the I'm
only
sorry.
thing that you could do is to like put the race on some place that nobody has ever gone to and will never go to again, and so that the surface is so random that nobody has a benefit. But even then, that one guy who practices on his backyard running over old flax of wood will have an advantage because he's used to running on those pieces of shit. Like the reason why Kyosho is so good in like rough conditions is because Kanai basically builds the car in a fucking junkyard. Have you seen those fucking tracks that guy practices on? No wonder the car's not that good when it's like basically like glued or oil tracks. Because the fucking dude practices on a scrapyard. and test the car in a scrapyard. And like this conversation to me is like insane. The only thing you can say is, could we like have lower grip rough tracks once in a while, or smoother tracks once in a while, and let's do something equally,
Different.
like
Yeah, I
all
agree.
equally, like we consciously make the effort to pick different tracks like that. That's the only argument I'm like fine with accepting, that they should do more of the different ones. But the thing is, even if next year we would go to Eskilstuna, which was like a that was a junkyard track, why Kyosho was really good there. Um, it's not a bad place, but it was fucking
You're
bumpy.
talking about
Okay.
2017 national
Yeah.
yours? That was a
Yeah.
beautiful
That was,
track. It was huge.
yeah, but the surface was a
Right.
fucking
Like the
potato.
moon.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So my point is that even if we go there next year, then the Southern Europeans are, if they had the same attitude, they can complain that, oh, do we have to fly to Northern Europe to practice to make good at the Euros? No, it changes, Back in the day, it was different. Like Fairing in 2012, Reims in 2013. Um,
Yeah, it was much different
uh,
surfaces.
yeah, also fucking like, yes, it always benefits someone. Sure, now we have had all the Euros post-COVID have been on high grip tracks in Southern Europe. And yes, it does help the Southern Europeans more because, it's high grip Southern Europe. That's what they do. But it's not an excuse till the end of everything. That what if we went to UK? Could we then say that, oh fuck, we should
Oh,
never
the
go
oil
to
tracks.
UK?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
they
have
just race on
another
oil tracks.
I have another point, and then we'll let Pekko talk. Sorry, Pekko. The fucking surface is the same it's been as it was in 2022. You're
Yeah.
doing the same things that you was doing in 2022, if I'm not mistaken, running the same tires, all that type of stuff. So you know what it's like. And
Mhm.
you know what? The Americans, and I'm not saying the Americans and Brandon Rose would be silly not to go to Thornhill as much as they can between now and 2026, just to practice as much as they can and get used to everything. Because that's what they should be doing. And the Europeans need to get up, off, go and do the same freaking thing and go over there and practice on the track and get all that type of stuff. Of course, right? But when I see that from Skidmore, and I've learned to like the Skidmores here lately, and I like them. They're impressive. It's not the excuse, man. It's not the excuse to use. You know what this track's like. You know the surface is the same every year, right? It's not like Redovon where you got thrown for a loop and the surface was different, right? That was a big thing. People don't understand the surface of Redovon was way different from what it was in 2022. All right, Pekka, give me your thoughts.
About the practice thing. I think
It's okay. You don't have to agree
it's
with us.
like thing about this practice. Like someone is complaining that they cannot do practice on this kind of track. That is like, I think that's a bit stupid. Like thinking the situation that we here in Finland are.
Yeah.
Because basically, like for example, UK, they have tracks. It's not that expensive to go to France or something like that. In Finland, okay. We did like last year, the guys in Estonia made a nice track. So now we have a really, really good track. It will be like it's a Euro standard track. So yeah, now we have a good track close, but it's still 4 hour trip. Take the ferry. It's not
Yeah,
that
it's a day
expensive,
trip. Yeah.
but yeah, it's a trip still. But
Less time for
locally,
Skidmores to go to Montpellier, basically.
but yeah, locally here, it's super hard. It's super hard to go these like international races. Like probably the tracks here are closer to DNC than
Yeah.
anything else in Europe. And
Yeah.
for example, now it has been raining so much that we haven't been able to practice for probably like two weeks straight.
Yeah.
It's just, and the summer here is like what, 2 months, 2 3 months you can actually do running. Like come on. And then you are
Yeah,
saying
and
that,
he
well,
was in
you
the
cannot
main.
practice. Yeah.
Yeah, Pekko was in the main. That guy.
I get it. I get
But
it. And I feel for the Skidmores, right? Because they're a privateer working full-time, like working a full-time job and racing. I get it. You can't get as much practice as the other guy.
I get that also too. But still they have tracks and close. They can run super long. I think they can run like what, 5 months almost.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they have these old tracks, so they don't go that bad during like rain or something. So just like
I agree. I
that
get
is
it.
the thing.
Look, I get it. I feel for him. Trying to it's no different from any other sport. Like it's like the privateer motocross guys trying to compete with the guys who are like. I get it. In this case, I understand their problem. Right? I know they have to get time off. They have to go over there. I understand that there, but they could have went over there too and got some practice. Like took a weekend. They could have went to the IBC race. Right?
Or they could have been going to the home track or something.
Maybe. I don't know if it's a similar, but you know what I mean. But I feel for them because I know they want to do well. And we know that the Skidmores, well, I think it's Johnny. I don't think the other one's even, I don't think Will is racing as much. But this is just that's how things go, man. It's always going to be, it's like in any other sport. It's who has the talent, and has the time. And I know they'll say, well, it's money too. Of course it's money to travel over there, but it's not as expensive to travel. It's, for somebody in England to use this excuse versus somebody that lives in California, okay, it's an excuse when you live in California. Not an excuse, but it's a reason. It's a reason in England too, but you can easily go over there as well.